2, 1. Good morning, my friends. How are you today? I hope you're doing well. Today, I thought that we would talk about the element of art called shape. A shape is an enclosed space defined by other elements. Lines can make a shape. Colors can make a shape. Textures can make a shape. All of these elements can work together to create a shape. In the late 1800s and the early 1900s in the US and some other countries, artists started being curious about what would happen if they made an artwork that was just lines or just shapes or just colors. Some of these artists were called the Expressionists. Some others had some different names, but they all had one thing in common. They wanted to make things that didn't look like things in reality. They were just lines and shapes and colors. Shape is a two-dimensional enclosed space with boundaries defined by other elements. We can see here we have examples of shapes. Here's a circle. Here's a triangle, here's a square, and here's a hexagon. We can also see some artworks that are made only of shapes. We have this one by Edward Steichen called Le Tournesol, and we have this one called Red, Yellow, Blue by Wassily Kandinsky. Let's take a closer look at a work by Wassily Kandinsky. Here, Kandinsky used just circles. Previous to Kandinsky and some other artists deciding that they wanted to use just shapes, artists always made things that looked at least a little bit like reality, like the real world, called realism. Kandinsky wanted to make things that were just made of shapes. Kandinsky thought that visual art and music were very similar to each other, and he called his paintings compositions. Let's take a look at an artwork by Sonia Delaney. We've seen this work before. Again, it is just made of shapes. The last time we looked at it, we talked about emphasis. But here we can see that this artwork isn't something that is supposed to look like anything in the real world. It's just shapes, and mostly circles. Circles and half circles. If you were to make an artwork that just used shapes, what would it look like? How could you make an artwork with just shapes? Would you use colors to make your shapes? Or would you use lines to make your shapes? How could you make an artwork with just shapes? Thanks for watching. Now go make something.